All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming. I am Lauren Sanchez, and I'm helping co-host this event tonight with Angela and Alicia. And if you're on the call tonight, it's because somebody invited you and they care about you and respect you, and they just want you to know a little bit about what they're up to. So the call will be relaxed and fun. You don't have to do anything, but you'll want to listen because there are going to be some awesome stories and just some really good information on the call. So you get to hear about family health and really kind of how some people are taking it to the next level. So then toward the end of the call, we'll wrap up by talking a little bit about an organization that helps make it all possible. It's called the Juice Plus Company, and it's really allowed people all over the world to have additional fulfillment through improved health and also through financial ways for some people that choose to do that. So I hope something tonight stands out to you on the call. And, if it doesn't resonate with you, maybe you know somebody that would want to hear the message. So again, thank you for coming. So to kick off, I'm going to ask a question. And if you're watching, I want you to wave your hand if you feel like this applies to you. And we'll kick off by starting to talk about the importance of nutrition. Couldn't get that out. And that question is, would you agree that it is difficult being healthy in the world today? So I feel like it is, especially with kids and when they're in school and you can't always control what they're eating. So that can make it really hard. But we all know that in order to feel good, look good, and live a long, active, healthy life, that we have to eat things that fuel our body in the right way. But there's a lot of different information out there. Things change every day. One day something's good, the next day it's not. And that's really where the healthy living revolution comes in. And that's what you see on the screen over here. So it says join the revolution, and that's talking about the healthy living revolution. And that's really just a movement of people. So Angela, Alicia, and I on the call are part of that community. It is much bigger than us, but it kind of what its mission is to help people take freedom back through improved health. And it's in small, tangible, doable ways, because for a lot of people, we're busy people, we work, we have children, we have lots of responsibilities. And if anything is too complicated, or if a recipe includes too many ingredients, I won't do it. So if I won't do it, I know that most other people won't either. So back to it, the foundation of good health is good nutrition. And in order to do that, we have to flood our bodies with the most important things out there. And that is actually raw fruits, berries, and vegetables. Those have been around since the beginning of time. And we're supposed to get 9 to 13 servings a day. So if you think of a serving, think of a plate, but the easiest thing to do is to think of my fist. It looks like I'm going to punch the computer here. I promise I'm not. But this is a serving, and we're supposed to eat 9 to 13 of these a day. Back in the day, it was 5 to 7, and it's only continued to increase because of the number of toxins that we face in our world today. It's different than it was when we were growing up prior to having kids, when we were in elementary school or middle school or high school. And that's where the healthy living revolution comes in, and the nutritional support of Juice Plus. So I'm going to flip my screen here and talk just for a couple minutes about what Juice Plus is. So Juice Plus is not a supplement, and it is really just fruits and vegetables, which makes it unique from a lot of things that are out there. So you'll see on the screen, there is a red, green, and purple capsule or gummy for kiddos. And I'll talk a little bit about how kiddos can get it for free in a few minutes, but it's 30 raw vine ripened fruits and vegetables in a capsule or gummy form. And it all starts with farm fresh nutrition. So if you are like me and you buy tons of bananas, we buy 3 bunches of about 7 a week. So 21 bananas. Every time we buy them, in order to have them last for the week, we buy them green. Well, what a lot of people don't know is when the fruits and vegetables are delivered to the store, they have a fraction of the nutritional content that they should in order for us to actually get what we need from that for our cells, for our bodies to function properly. And a lot of people that even eat lots of fruits and vegetables are like, oh, I'm healthy, I'm getting lots of fruits and vegetables. But the nutritional content is not the same. And that's where Juice Plus is so great, because the company works with farmers located here in the United States, and they're upheld to the highest quality standards. And if you think of an orange, they actually take the whole fruit, whatever it is, an orange peel, a banana peel. They threw the whole thing into a grinder, and it is freeze dried at super low temperatures so that all of the nutrients are maintained. And again, they include the peels, the leaves, the seeds, everything that they can, because the nutrition comes from everything. For example, in an orange, we always think, oh, we should eat an orange because of the vitamin C. Well, 80% of the vitamin C is found in the peel. And I don't know about you, but I don't really eat orange peels that often. So that's just something that I think is really interesting that, I've learned, and I never would have known that. A couple other just quick things I'll cover are a few products that are in Juice Plus, and we'll continue talking a little bit about nutrition. Is I showed you the fruits, vegetables, and berries, which are the red, purple, and green. There's also an omega blend, so brain health is super important, and omegas have always been thought of, I guess, as being a fish thing, but did you know that omegas aren't actually from the fish? They're from the algae that the fish eat. And so this company has a lot of science backed behind it. And they were like, let's eliminate the middleman. The fish, our fishing crop is being drastically outnumbered. And for sustainability reasons, why don't we just get it from the plant? I learned this past weekend that fish actually smell like fish because they eat algae. They wouldn't really smell like that if they didn't eat algae. So that just kind of blew my mind. But the things that make Juice Plus unique as a nutritional product are really three things. The first is it's 45 whole foods. So it's not a supplement, it's not a vitamin. If you were to buy it in a store, it would be in the produce section because it would have the same nutrition label as broccoli or any of the other things that are in it. It has a nutrition label, not a supplement label. So again, the first bullet here says a food label. It has phytonutrients, which those can't be found in a vitamin or a supplement. Those can only be found in plants. And our bodies need those. When they convert, they convert into things that we can't get unless we're actually eating food. It's non-GMO, dairy-free, gluten-free. NSF certification is the National Sanitation Foundation, and it's actually a third-party company that certifies that what's on the label says it's in the label. Supplements and vitamins don't have a regulation like that. As long as they have a certain percentage of certain things, they can say that they are whatever they are. For example, a prenatal just has to have like 2 or 3 measures of certain percentages, and they can say it's that. And they aren't tested, they aren't regulated. So a lot of times there are things in supplements and vitamins that we don't really know about. And then the last, which is my favorite, and I know Alicia will mention this probably in her story in a bit because she works in the medical field, so she has an awesome background. But the clinical research studies there are over 38 of them over the last 25 years. And they prove what happens in the body when you eat fruits and vegetables, and particularly when it's taken in the form of Juice Plus. So those are 3 things that make it super unique compared to what is out there. And I think, I forgot to mention, there's really only 5 products entirely in all of the Juice Plus company, and it's 25 years it's been around. And the 2 I forgot to mention are the Complete. So it's a protein powder. And I don't like to call it a shake because it can be used to make healthy pancakes, protein balls, healthy cookie dough, which is delicious and takes like less than 2 minutes to make. And there's some quick dandy bars. And these, again, they're all NSF certified. So there's no additives or any artificial anything in them. And then the last is a hydroponic vertical tower garden. So you don't have to have dirt or anything like that. It's super easy. We check ours twice a week. So it takes us maybe like 10 minutes total. And we're growing our own produce outside. So we save a ton of money at the grocery store versus having to buy organic produce. So let's go ahead and shift into our stories. And Angela, I know you have a couple people on the call you invited tonight. So why don't you unmute and just go ahead and share a little bit about just your experience and why you're sharing this with people. and kind of what your heart is behind the Healthy Living Revolution.
Absolutely. First of all, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you guys so much to those of you moms who are on the call tonight. Each of you, I've taught your babies and just have played an important role in the lives of your family. And I'm just really thankful that you've taken a little bit of time out just to learn what I'm up to these days. So for the better part of this year, I have been struggling with chronic pain in my back. And I went through just a ton of, earlier in the year, physical therapy and chiropractors and doctors. I had injections and acupuncture and just tried a ton of different things, had x-rays and MRIs, and nobody could figure out what it was. And so I felt really led to try an anti-inflammatory diet. And as soon as I did, I started feeling so much better. And it was just shocking and mind-blowing to me. I mean, I've always been very healthy. I've always, I was an athlete growing up, and I've always eaten what I thought was healthy. But just, coming to the realization of how much what we put in our mouths affects every part of our life has just been really, really powerful to me. And so through that, I came across Juice Plus. And the more that I have taken this product and gotten to know the people involved in it, the more I've just really honestly fallen in love with it. And just felt like it would be wrong for me not to share this with people. And especially with moms, because our kids, I see them every day in the lunchroom and what they eat. And, I know from my nieces and nephews, like, it is not easy to get kids to eat broccoli and kale and all of those super important fruits and vegetables that their bodies need. I mean, really, really need to develop properly. And so the fact that they can get those in a gummy that tastes great is just mind-blowing and amazing to me. And then you'll find out later the way that they can actually get it for free, which is even more amazing. So anyway, I just wanted to get, as many moms as I could together on this call, and I'll certainly be sharing more later, but just to share with you this company and this product.
Thank you, Angela. Can you guys hear me again?
Uh-huh.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for sharing your story. No, it's really exciting, and you are even closer to the lunchroom than I am cooking lunch for my kiddos every day. So I think teachers see it on a whole new level, and I think it's really neat when teachers kind of step beyond, where they're at and just teaching in the classroom and care about kids beyond that, which most have a heart for that anyway, but yours just oozes over. So,
thank you.
All right, Alicia, would you hop on and share for a couple minutes a little bit of your story?
Sure. Hey guys. So my story, I'm going to start by saying she might share a little of her story too, but so my story, I'm going to start with saying, like, growing up, I didn't have the best nutrition. My mom was a single mom, and she had 4 kids, and so it was just kind of whatever was easier, and sometimes we just kind of fend for ourselves. But my journey started when I got pregnant with my first, and after I had her, he was Pippa, and she's almost 5 now, but she was born with a dairy soy intolerance. And then that's when I kind of started to dig in a little bit deeper. I was restricted from eating dairy and soy because I was nursing, and I started to read labels then. Well, then I got pregnant quickly after Pippa, and Michael started a new job the day she was born, and so it was very hard because he was gone all day and he was gone all day and night, and sometimes slept during the day, and so I didn't have a lot of help. And so for her first year, she was also dairy soy intolerant, and for her first year, it was just kind of a whirlwind of, I needed to stay off of it for a while, but once, she got a little bit older, I went back to my habits of just doing what was easier for everybody. I started school a year after he started his career, and during my school, I was studying to be a nuclear medicine technologist, and what we do is we're the functioning department of imaging. We use radioactive materials to watch things function from hearts to brains to gallbladders and everything above. Specifically, we also have a separate department called PET-CT where we stage cancer, and we check to see if the radiation treatments and chemotherapy is working. And while I was in class, they were talking about fluorodeoxyglucoses, which is what we inject them with to check for the cancer. We just tag it with radiation. And my instructor said it's radioactive sugar. And while I was sitting in class there, it just like a light bulb went off in my head, and I said, we're giving sugar to people to check for cancer because the cancer is eating it up. And I'm like, why am I eating, I need to know what's going in my body. I don't want to eat something that's going to go straight to cancer and feed it, that's what I'll call it. But I just kind of wanted to find something for my family, and we have to be an advocate for our children because we're all they have, and if it's what we eat, they're going to eat. And the example we set for them, they're going to carry on with them throughout their lives. So I was just searching for something, and Lauren had reached out to me, which I'm so thankful for. And I had been watching her on Facebook, and I just kind of reached out and I said, hey, so what are you doing? And she told me about Juice Plus, and I was like, I went to my first call, just like you all are on. And right after, I was like, yes, sign me up. It was just something, it was simple for us. It was an easy yes for me, because why not? I can sneak 30 fruits and vegetables into my children's diet every day. And you know how hard it is to get little kids to eat fruits and vegetables sometimes. But yeah, I was like, yes, please, sign me up. And how do I tell everybody about this? Because this is an awesome thing. So that's pretty much my story summed up. Sorry, I'm trying to battle this.
No, hey, that's the realities of mommyhood.
Yeah.
Lucky mine are asleep yet already. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
I always love hearing your story too.
Okay.
Lauren, you're muted.
Oops. Okay, better now?
Yeah.
Okay. So before we move on, I wanted to share an awesome resource that the person who invited you to the call will share with you either tonight or tomorrow. But there's a website that is part of the Healthy Living Revolution. It's called healthylivingrevolution.com. So pretty easy with as many times as you've heard that word tonight. But it has some free, incredible cookbooks that you can print out or save on your computer. It has children's activities, educational webinars that will blow your mind from different medical and health professionals on a variety of topics, and other free resources. So this slide shows a little bit. There's some really fun stuff for kids, like a cooking channel where they can watch other kids cook, and it just gets them excited to get involved in the process. And then now we're going to transition to talking a little bit about the company. And as you know, the company is Juice Plus. We've mentioned that a couple times. And the main mission is to bring freedom to people through improved health. So a couple things that are really important to know is that 80% of Juice Plus is just, customers who purchase it that have no affiliation with the company. The business is not for everybody, but there are those who just have really wanted a different type of freedom. And that's where the Freedom Revolution comes in. So again, you don't have to do anything. Just I want you to kind of hear a little bit about why those of us that are involved have chosen to get involved. And I think one unique thing you'll hear is most people that do only did it for a reason that wasn't to make it a business. I hear that time and time again. But I'm going to answer 3 questions. And the first is, how does it work? The second is, what's so great about the company? And the third is, how does it make a difference in the world? So the first is, how does it work? It's $50 a year to own your own business. The cool thing is the company does everything. So it delivers bills and collects, pays us by direct deposit each month. All you have to do is share by word of mouth. So a lot of people, they use it and they simply share, and it helps them offset the cost of their product, which is really neat. There's no inventory to keep. The only Juice Plus you have is your own. There are no quotas or minimums. You can share as little or as much as you want. And there are no glass ceilings or territory restrictions. And the company is in over 24 countries and has been around for over 25 years. So a little bit more about the 25 years. So what's so great about the company? It has been around as Juice Plus for 25 years, but has actually been a company for 50. And the same president that started it is the same president today. It's privately held and debt-free. And at the top position level of the company, which not everyone has an interest in doing that, but some do, you're eligible for a ton of benefits, which this really blew my mind when I heard this, for medical, dental, disability, life, long-term care, chiropractic, prescription, college tuition assistance, holiday bonus, and a monthly expense allowance. So some people, like I said, do it to offset the cost of their products. Some do it for short-term cash flow or a long-term retirement strategy. And the last is, what has the company done to make a difference? And there are quite a few things. The first is the Children's Health Study, which we've mentioned a couple times. So what that is the company and the individuals like myself who are involved in the business help offset the cost of Juice Plus for any child over the age of 4 through college who has an adult order with it. So it requires an adult order, and then the kids can get the red and green gummies for free. So that's 20 fruits and vegetables right there. Over 1 million families to date have participated in the study. And if you want to hear more about the findings, like kids drinking more water, parents missing less days for work for kids being sick and all those kind of things, reach out to the person who invited you. We sponsor the St. Jude's Marathon, the Boys and Girls Club, Volunteers of America, and the Children's Hunger Fund. So that's probably one of the things I love the most is Juice Plus. Not only inspires healthy living, but it's a very generous company as well. So we're going to shift into our business stories. And Leah, are you still on the call?
I'm here.
Okay, awesome. So I want you to meet Leah Sheeter. She is a dear friend of mine and has been in the business quite a while. I don't want to steal her thunder or tell her story, but I'm so excited she's on tonight to get to share with you guys.
Hi, everybody. It's good to be on here. Thanks for having me. So really quick background on how this Juice Plus product even came into our family's lives. We actually, my husband and I have been a part of not only benefiting from the product with our health, but also a part of this awesome mission and company for 10 years. And it came into our lives because of a health crisis that I was going through when I was 24, shortly after we got married, and was really in a desperate place searching for answers in my health, and was very convinced that it wasn't, a new flashy product or supplement that was going to help me. I knew I needed whole foods. I was just struggling to get enough every day. So when I learned about Juice Plus, that piece totally made sense to me. But because we were right out of college, and I honestly don't even remember how we were paying our bills every month, I knew that was going to be our biggest obstacle, is how are we going to pay for this? And so that was when I found out the company has a really awesome program that's gives people an opportunity to offset their costs really simply from the start. And some people, that's all they want to do, and that's great. And other people do that and then decide to move on from there. But the only reason I started was to cover the cost of our product. I told my husband we'd never pay for it out of pocket. I knew from the beginning it was something I wanted us to consume long term, because I was in a lot of pain in various areas, not just physical pain, but it's if you've ever dealt with health issues or somebody that has, it is a very emotional thing as well, where you just, you don't have hope that you're going to be able to do or be who you desire to be for the people around you. in the years to come. And that's a scary thing to face, especially at the age of 24, as somebody that didn't have kids yet and wanted to be able to one day. And so I had that pain going on in my life, but then simultaneously, I also had another area of pain in my life, and that was that I was really dissatisfied with my current job situation, even though it was an amazing job on paper and it was in the career field that I studied for. I was showing up and sitting in a cubicle 9 to 10 hours a day, and I was building somebody else's dreams and spending, all of my best energies doing that. And my family basically got my leftovers, and somebody told me how many vacation days I had. And it just was not a future that made me excited to think about what's next for me, or what happens, Lord willing, when we have kids one day and I want to be able to spend more time with them. And I was really searching for ways to create a second stream of income, and never saw this as an opportunity to do that. Even when I covered our cost, that was all I planned on doing. But becoming a part of this community, what it did for us was it not only changed our total health picture. We have been an asthma and allergy-free home for 9 years. We don't have the sick visits to the doctor like we used to. We actually have 3 healthy children. Today we've had 3 amazing healthy pregnancies, which is a huge part of my health story as well. I didn't even know if I'd be able to have those children. And we've only had 1 antibiotic in our home in the 8 years that we've had kids. So our health has totally changed. But this mission, what it has done is, number one, it's helped us go deeper in our own health story. And it's also given us a community of people and an avenue to make a difference in the world while earning an income at the same time. And so not only did we cover our costs, but we saw that this was a legit opportunity, which I was a little doubtful about at first, that they were going to pay me for sharing fruits and vegetables. But I saw, the vision after I heard other people's stories and attended one of their leadership conferences, that, these are people just like me, and why not me? I was looking for an avenue to earn a second stream of income, but what it ended up doing for our family is becoming a full-time income. But I get to work part-time hours, and now that we have our kiddos, I get to be mommy first. And there is no way that would have been possible for our family if it had not been for this business. So it has brought so much joy and purpose to our lives, because it gives us as a family an opportunity to actually think about the future in a way of what are we passionate about, and how do we want to make a difference in the world, and how can this vehicle and the time flexibility and the financial flexibility that it gives us, how is that going to allow us to fulfill these passions that we have to make a difference in the ways that we're excited about in the world. And that's what our family is getting to realize now, which I'm so grateful for. And I know that if I can do it, I know anybody can, because, this has been a 10-year journey for me. But the other thing I love about our mission is that everybody can choose what fits best for them. And for, like I said, for some people, that's truly covering their cost. And for other people, it's that they want more with it, but they get to choose, which I love. And that's been such a special thing for our family through the years. So thanks for letting me share my story, Lauren. And thank you guys for listening.
Thank you, Leah. So appreciate it. Well, I will share like a super brief version of my story tonight. I guess we weren't in a health crisis, but to be, I guess, quick. So in 2005, my husband lost his mom to cancer. In 2006, I lost my dad to suicide and mental illness. And then 6 years after that, my husband lost his dad to rheumatoid arthritis and autoimmune disorders. And that was all before the age of 30 for us, and before we had kids. And shortly after that, all of those deaths had happened, we got pregnant. And we were terrified, like out of our mind. I mean, a lot of it had to do with the fact that we didn't have parents to call. I mean, my mom's, she's alive, her health is challenged too, but we suddenly found ourselves in this spot where we didn't have our parents, the people that we wanted to be around, to call on. And we were also scared, like, is this going to happen to us? Are we going to be gone and not get to be here for our kids when they have kids? And that was a little bit of like, I shouldn't say a little, it was a huge wake up call for us. So when I got pregnant, we started getting intentional about our health. And that's actually when we found out about Juice Plus. And immediately, I was so sick during being pregnant, it just made sense. So we said yes, and we took the product for 4 years, and I saw things disappear I'd had my whole life. And it wasn't instant, it took time, but I saw allergy injections disappear. I'd had those for like 12 years. Back pain, irritable bowel syndrome, always feeling bloated. I was constantly sick, or I just needed mental health days to make it through life. And so I would skip work for those. And all of that slowly started to change on top of having kids, which sounds crazy because then your life's more chaotic. And then a few years into the journey, met a friend, and she shared with me, she's like, why don't you offset the cost of your product? You're telling me you're going to take this forever. And I said, yeah, we are. Let's do that. And immediately upon getting into the community, we just started learning things, and it has made our health journey transform even more than it did by just consuming the product. I've lost about 30 pounds. My husband's lost about 30 pounds. And we didn't make any crazy changes. Really, it was more just slow, steady changes in our diet over time. Our kiddos are never ill anymore, whereas that was not the reality for my firstborn when we were just starting this journey. So it's been a huge blessing, even financially for us. We've been able to do a lot of things that we wouldn't have been able to do otherwise. And we both work full time. So this is just icing on the cake for extra vacations and to be able to give to the charities of our choice that we feel really passionate about. So that's a little bit about my story. Thank you guys for listening. And to close us out tonight, let me share my screen one last time. And I'm just going to leave us with 2 questions tonight, and really something to think about. So I know we've shared a lot of information and stories tonight, and thank you so much for listening. I know that you're giving up time tonight, but it means the world to the person who invited you. And we get on and do this because we care, and most of us don't know where we'd be if somebody hadn't shared this with us. So there are 2 types of people who I think, this call may resonate with tonight. The first is people who want to invest in their health. So if you're interested in learning more about the Children's Health Study, or even fueling your own body with fruits and vegetables every day, then connect with the person who invited you. The second is if, anything about the business resonated with you. Okay, here, come sit with me while I finish this call, okay? He just got out of bed. Here, come sit with me. Or do you want to go get your water? Okay, go grab your water. So if anything about the business resonated with you tonight, or, if you'd want to offset the cost of your product, or just ask what if, I looked into this, then also connect with the person that invited you, because it has been the biggest blessing, I think, in my life, and has helped me grow more in ways than I ever would have anticipated. So thank you guys so much for coming tonight, for tuning in, and for everybody who shared their story. It's always great getting on and hearing how people's lives are changed and how they just feel fantastic. So, yeah.
Thanks, Lauren.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful night.
Thanks,
Bye, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thanks everyone for joining.
Bye, guys. Bye, Natalie. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks.